Less Lethal Contingencies. Alan here. So tonight we're going to be testing out some new ammunition, the new Glass Breaker 7 gram 680 ammunition with the Byrna LE. Okay, so, and not only are we going to be trying out the Glass Breaker ammunition in the Byrna LE, but we're also going to put it up head-to-head competition with the next closest weight ammo that we have that I've shot out of my Byrna LE before, which is the 7.3 gram solid aluminum Alien Play. Okay, so we're going to I guess what we'll start off doing is we'll start off shooting a magazine of 5 of the 7.3 gram Alien Play solid aluminum ammunition, and then once we're done doing that, we're going to then switch over to the Glass Breakers, which is the 7 gram, actually weighs in about 6.8, but what we're calling the 7 gram 680 Glass Breakers, which is like a glass marble, if you would. Okay, you may have seen some previous videos recently where I've been shooting this out of the Pistelli X68, get some really good numbers, really great high feet per second, and also out of the Intrabuster carbine, Intrabuster Gen 2 carbine, and again, this ammunition flies. So I want to put it up against a comparable weight ammunition, aluminum 7.3 gram, and see how it fares against the aluminum. So we're going to be doing that with the Byrna LE. Okay, I have a 12 gram cartridge already loaded in here, not punctured yet, but it's loaded up, and we are going to go through this. What we're going to do is we're going to pre-puncture on safety for the Byrna LE, flip it to safety, and we're going to pre-puncture the 12 gram CO2. Okay, we should be punctured. We'll give it a few seconds to let it balance out a little bit. And I have this green laser on here. We'll be using the laser. And even though I got the new cranny working just fine, haven't shot it yet, let's hope I don't for a while. I think what we're going to do, since we're just using a small pistol here, is we'll use the X-Radar, the old trusty here. Trusty, reliable X-Radar. All right, so we're going to start off with the 7.3 gram Alien Play solid aluminum. This comes in at, I think it was 682, okay? So we're going to shoot a magazine of 5. The Byrna LE holds 5. And we're going to start with that. I shouldn't need any hearing protection. I don't remember this gun being that loud, so we will go ahead and let's load her up. And we'll start off with the Alien Play. And then we'll go ahead and shoot the Glass Breakers and see what we get. All right. First magazine, 7.3 gram aluminum, solid aluminum. Shot 1. Oh, I'm still on safety. Silly me. Gotta take it off of safety. That helps. All right. It's been a little while. It's been a hot minute since I've shot the LE, so. All right, here we go. Mag 1, 7.3 gram Alien Play. Shot 1. All right, 300 feet per second. Shot 2. 284 feet per second. Shot 3. 268 feet per second. Shot 4. 256 feet per second. And it should be the last one, shot 5. 238 feet per second. All right. guess to be a fair test, I probably should change the CO2 and put a fresh CO2 in. So let's go ahead and drop the magazine. The ammo live button is flat, so I know I went through all 5 of those. And I think what we're gonna do is, do I want to waste the gas? Yeah, we'll just waste the gas. All right, we'll waste the gas. Well, let me dry fire a few shots. That's much louder dry fire for sure. All right, let's release this. This way we can get right to it. And there we go. There we go. All right. We will start with a new cartridge. Whew. Wow, that's a pretty good puncture though. If I could only get punctures like that on some of my other markers. That is a stinking puncture. That's a rip in the space-time continuum. All right, let's get another cartridge here. Let's put that down aside. And I think I got another one kicking around. I think I left one in this Byrna of mine here. Just gonna rob one out of the Byrna. No, I didn't. Son of a gun. I could have sworn I had a spare one. I must have robbed it before. All right, so we're gonna need to go get another CO2 because I was counting on that one. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. All right, sorry about that. I guess I didn't plan properly. So I went and got another 12 gram, installed it in here, gave the gun a little bit of time to come up to temperature as well, since degassing the rest of the CO2. So it's not super cold, so I think we should be good for this test, the second part of this test. All right, so that was the 7.3 gram alien play, first part of the test. The second part of the test is going to be these glass breakers, or glass marbles, okay? And again, these are coming in, you know, when I measured them, they're coming in around 680 to 681, okay? Most of them were showing, but I think all but one slipped easily through the 681 ball gauge that I have. And when I put the calipers on them, they were coming in about 6.8, 6.81, okay? So I'm gonna call them 6.8, 6.80. They weighed in, these 7 grams weighed in at 6.8 grams, right? 6.8 grams, so basically 7 grams. And then we're putting them up against what we just got with the 7.3 gram alien solid aluminum, okay? So I have 5 loaded in this magazine here for the Byrna LE. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and puncture it on safety. And we'll do the same thing. We'll use the X-radar and we'll take some feet per second readings and see what we get, okay? So there's a fresh CO2 in there, gonna puncture it on safety. Okay. Had a really nice puncture on that last round. And we're gonna go ahead and take our glass ammunition. And we're gonna load in a magazine of 5. We'll turn the laser on. And we'll take it off of safety. And we'll see what we get for feet per second out of the Byrna LE shooting the glass breaker rounds. 7-gram glass breaker. Okay. 7-gram glass breaker. Shot 1. (286 feet per second). Shot 2. 278 feet per second. Shot 3. 258 feet per second. Shot 4. 252 feet per second. And the last one, shot 5. 244 feet per second. All right. Okay, so I don't know about you, but it sure looks to me like the Byrna LE likes the 7.3 gram alien play. I'm actually kind of surprised by that outcome. I was kind of expecting to definitely get higher feet per second with the glass ammunition, like I've been seeing on the last couple tests that I've run with it. But in this particular case, and they're pretty close, you know, the ammunition size is pretty close, right? So I was saying the glass was about 680 to 681, whereas the alien play is running in, you know, is measuring out to be about 682. Okay, is what I measured on for the alien play. Matter of fact, I got a measurement video on that, or still shot of it showing the weight of the alien play and also the measurements that I took with the calipers. So that's actually on the Tech Talk playlist. Okay, that's usually where I keep all the ammunition weigh-ins and that sort of information under the Tech Talk playlist, in case you're curious or interested, I should say. Yeah, so that's the test, and that was with fresh CO2 for each test. And if I remember correctly, I think with the alien play, I got about, the first shot was like 300 feet per second. Definitely better than the first shot, or even the second, or any of the shots with the glass. So a little surprised by that, but hey, data is data, right? The data doesn't lie. So yeah, that's the outcome. I think at this point, there you have it. Anyways, hopefully you've enjoyed this and found this to be of use, helpful. Anyways, thanks for watching. You have a great evening. Peace out. All right. So, P.S. Postscript. I forgot I wanted to take another look at these, since this is new ammunition, and given that it's glass, I've been inspecting these through light and just checking them for chips, cracks, anything like that would. And so I've been doing that after each video, and they look good. I gotta say, I'm not seeing any cracks through them, any chips. I had 2 of them that had, I think the word I was using in the last video was grooves, you know, and I couldn't even be certain if they weren't already there to begin with. But yeah, I got this one's got this slight little groove on it, and I'm probably wasting my time even showing it over here because the way they reflect light, I mean, they're transparent, pretty much transparent. I guess you have to take my word for me, but there's like this slight little fingernail groove in this one, and then there's like an identical groove in this one, which kind of makes me think maybe it's something I overlooked when maybe it's something with the manufacturing, because they're almost identical grooves. So 2 of them have that so far. Let me inspect the other one. I have a total of 6 of these, so I don't see any grooves on this one. Well, small little groove on this one here. No cracks going through it. Again, no chips. Just kind of like a groove is how I would explain it. So it's probably the same two that I noticed the groove on. Getting your groove on. That one looks good. Okay. So given that it's the first time I've been shooting glass marbles, basically a glorified 68 caliber marble, right? Out of my guns. I figured I better inspect them really close, because if they got any chips, anything that looks sketchy, if you would, then I don't want to be shooting them. Okay. Reusing them is what I should say. I don't have any problem with shooting them naturally. This is the third time I've tested these. Third different marker, right? I tested it on the X68. I tested, which again, the first two guns are high-powered guns. I tested it on the Intrabuster Gen 2 Terminator carbine build, which, you know, what was I shooting? About 100 joules or so with these. So they were hitting that archery material pretty darn hard. And no cracks, nothing. Now, the Byrna LE certainly ain't cracking them. But again, just from repeat use, you know, I wanted to see how they hold up. And I'm probably going to do this. I'm definitely going to do this every time. I'm going to inspect them through and, you know, check for any kind of cracks or chips or anything that could be questionable. And if it's questionable, I'm throwing it in the garbage. So that's 3 times so far, okay? And so far so good. I mean, they're holding up. Now, each time that I shoot these, and including on the test that I just did, the little competition test between the alien play and the glass breakers. After shooting that alien play, in between when I went to go get another CO2 cartridge, I I cleaned out the target trap. Okay, so I think this is important. If you want to reuse your ammunition, you really probably gotta, you know, take the extra step and clean out your target trap. Don't let them collect in there, because these balls are bouncing around, whether it be glass or whether it be any other ammunition. They're bouncing around, and oftentimes this ammunition, some of this stuff is so strong that it, you know, if it's gonna break, it's probably gonna break from colliding with a like ammo. Okay, its own kind, essentially. So I didn't want to be shooting these into the target trap without making sure my target trap was clean. So I can tell you for sure that was a clean trap when I started shooting these out of the Byrna LE tonight. For that matter, every other time that I've shot them, pretty sure I clean the trap out first of anything. But I routinely maintain that trap anyways. The only stuff that's in there for the life of me is I always tend to get little pieces, different specks of color, pieces of this and that, maybe from some of the paper targets that I had been tearing up shooting through. But anyways, yeah, so I just wanted to kind of add this to this ammo inspection of the glass rounds. I wanted to add that to the end of this video. So anyways, it will be a PS at the end of the video. Again, thank you for watching. Appreciate you. And peace out.